Hello friends, there are about 70 countries in the world that commonly consume wild animal meat. Animal consumption is estimated at 2.4 billion tons, equivalent to about 1% of the total world meat production. However, wild animals' meat is not commonly used by American farmers. The reason is in this video, so please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel, and let's get to watch this whole entire video together now. First, we must understand that American culture and American farmers do not have the habit of consuming wild animals' meat in the US. Most Americans regularly favor farmed animal meat, considering it their main food source. Wild animal meat become more popular in areas with a long history of hunting and trapping, as in the western states, where there are many wild animals. Wild animals' meat is consumed more than in the eastern states, where consumers tend to choose farmed animal meat. Wild animals are invasive species in the US. They often destroy crops, ecosystems, and are even dangerous to humans. Americans do not commonly consume them because, to harvest them, a state hunting license is required. This license can cost anywhere from a few dozen dollars to a few $100s. And this can make the harvesting of wild animal meat is a little more expensive for low-income consumers. Furthermore, the US states often have limits on the amount of wild boars an individual that can hunt or trap in a year. This is aimed at protecting wildlife populations. However, this may also make obtaining wild animals' meat more difficult for consumers who want to use wild animal meat as a primary food source. There are 25 states in the US that requires people to bring wild animal meat to wildlife quarantine facilities for inspection before eating. This testing process usually takes a few hours and can cost anywhere from $10 to $50 per bird. In the state of Texas, the cost of wildlife meat inspection is $15 per animal weighing less than 100 pounds and $20 per animal weighing 100 pounds or more. Some states that require wildlife meat testing often do so for food safety reasons. Wild animal meat can contain toxic substances such as lead, mercury, and other heavy metals. Testing wild animal meat can help detect these toxic substances and ensure consumer safety. In addition, the meat of wild animal contains many different types of bacteria and parasites such as Toxoplasma, Giardia, Trichinella, and more than 100 different types. These types of parasites are very dangerous for humans, especially pregnant women and young children. If you have ever bought wild animal meat, you will know that wild animal meat can be more expensive than meat from other sources. The average price of 10,000 pounds of wild boar meat is $13,000, Meanwhile, the average price of 1,000 pounds of farmed pork is $3,500. The price increased 3.7 times, which is quite a high price. This is because wild animal meat is often harvested manually, requiring more time and effort. Wild animal meat is not always available. It is only available at certain times of the year, depending on the hunting or trapping season. This can make it difficult for consumers to access wild animal meat, usually around fall and spring. When plants grow, the climate is the best for wild animals to grow and develop. Many stores and restaurants will sell wild animals meat. Wild animal meat may have a stronger flavor or different texture than farmed meat. And some Americans may not be familiar with the taste or the texture of wild animal meat because they often consume beef, pork, and chicken. Despite this, in recent years, there has been an increasing trend in the use of wild animal meat in the United States. This is due to the growing highly effective and has its own disadvantages. Traps require careful preparation, and the location must be determined approximately. Furthermore, traps can restrict feral pigs' movements and lead to stress and anxiety. The feral pig population has been increasing. Feral pigs not only cause great damage to agriculture, but also affect property and the living environment. Statistics show that damage is estimated at billions of dollars each year caused by feral pigs. They often destroy crops and animal feed, threatening the country's precious food supply. Another serious consequence that feral pigs cause is the ability to transmit diseases to livestock and humans. They can be vectors for infectious diseases such as tapeworm, tetanus, and stunting. This creates great risks for the livestock industry and farmers, especially in maintaining the health and productivity of livestock herds. In addition, feral pigs also threaten road traffic safety. Every year, there are dozens of traffic accidents caused by feral pigs entering the streets. This is especially dangerous for road users and especially drivers, as they may not be able to react in time to the sudden appearance of wild pigs on the road. Because of these limitations, researchers and governments have made efforts to research and develop more effective feral pig control methods. One of those methods is to use modern technology to track and locate feral pigs. Using GPS systems and tracking tools, feral pigs can be attacked and captured more effectively. In addition, research and development of non-invasive approaches, such as insecticide injections, is also a notable way to control feral pigs without having to deal with the limitations of conventional methods. One of the potential methods to control feral pigs is insecticide injection. Insecticides can be used to prevent the growth of feral pigs by reducing the number of insects they depend on. However, the use of insecticides requires careful consideration. Insecticides can cause environmental pollution and affect other insects, affecting the natural balance in the ecosystem. Therefore, it is necessary to implement effective and sustainable use of this medicine while monitoring its impact on the environment. In all feral swine control methods, interdisciplinary coordination and research are critical. Researchers, governments, and those working in the field need to work together to find innovative and sustainable solutions. Traffic safety, these educational activities can also provide guidance on how to recognize and report feral swine occurrences. To find more effective methods of feral pig control, we need financial support for research projects in biology, technology, and environmental management to develop new solutions. These studies may focus on optimizing existing control methods or developing new technologies and techniques to minimize the impact of feral swine. Combining border controls, public education, and research goes a long way in the fight against feral swine. We need to come up with a high level of understanding and cooperation to protect our agriculture and the environment. Plus ensuring traffic safety from the negative effects of these animals. Overall, feral pig control requires coordination and efforts from farmers, researchers, and governments. Effective and sustainable methods must be found to control and minimize the impact of this animal on agriculture, the environment, and traffic safety. Only through close collaboration and innovative research can we solve the serious problem of feral swines in the United States. Hello friends, is your area affected by this goose species? They are present in most parks, on lawns and roads. In lakes is also where they often approach and live. In the fields, they gather in large flocks and eat up crop fields. According to the U.S. Department of Agriculture, Canada geese cause about $1.5 billion in damage to American agriculture each year. A worrying increase in Canada goose populations has pushed researchers and farmers to reach for effective solutions to control them. One of the notable methods used is trapping Canada geese with nets. This method had significant results and has played an important role in minimizing the harmful effects of Canada geese on American agriculture. The operating principle of the Canada goose net trap method is simple but effective. Nets are placed in areas where Canada geese are abundant, especially in agriculture areas where they often cause damage. This is a non-harmful method for Canada geese, helping to control their population without causing damage to the environment. The results after using the method of trapping Canada geese with nets are encouraging. According to the U.S. Department of Agriculture, in 2023, this method caught more than 600,000 Canadian geese. This is an impressive number, showing that netting Canada geese traps is truly effective in controlling invasive Canada goose populations. This means minimizing their impact on agriculture and environment. The positive impact does not stop at controlling Canada goose numbers, but also extends to economic benefits. The method of trapping Canada geese with nets has helped minimizing the harmful effects of Canada geese on American agriculture. According to estimates, this method has helped American farmers save about $100 million in damage costs caused by Canadian geese. This means not only an effective control measure, but also a significant economic benefit for farming communities and the national economy. The use of hunting dogs has also been applied and practiced to deal with Canadian geese. Despite significant efforts, Canadian goose numbers have not changed much.
The US government applied pressure and was forced to take the most extreme measures to control the situation. In this situation, hunting methods have been given to priority by focusing on reducing the number of Canadian geese in order to reduce damage to agriculture and protect the environment. Although there is so much debate regarding the ethics of Canadian goose hunting, optimizing its effectiveness remains a top priority for governments and stakeholders. Until now, hunting Canadian geese has become a popular method that American farmers often apply to reduce the damage that these geese cause to American agriculture. According to the US Department of Agriculture, about 2 million Canadian geese are hunted in the US each year, helping to limit their population and reduce the damage they cause. Although this measure has achieved positive results, it has also caused many controversies related to ethical aspects and requires consideration and implementation. Hunting Canada geese is actually an effective way to control invasive Canadian geese. Information from the US Department of Agriculture shows that since 2016, after people expanded the hunting of Canadian geese, their numbers have decreased by about 10%. This has contributed to reducing damage caused by Canadian geese to American agriculture by approximately 20%. However, to implement this method effectively and without causing controversy, cooperation between authorities and farmers is needed. To be able to hunt, hunters will spend a lot of time and effort. They were forced to place puppets imitating Canadian geese to call them to come. They will hide in high grass areas to hunt. Hunting Canada geese is currently the only measure that has had significant results in controlling their numbers. Although Canadian goose hunting benefits agriculture and the environment, the ethical aspect is always a concern. The extreme practice of hunting Canadian geese not only involves the animal's right to live, but also raises questions about our approach to pest control. This requires consideration and collaboration between stakeholders. Canadian goose hunting can be an effective way to control invasive Canadian geese, but it needs to be done thoughtfully. And ethically. The focus should be on reducing damage to American agriculture and protecting the environment, while ensuring that this hunting is done correctly and responsibly. After being harvested, the geese will be brought home from processing.
So since these solutions have been effective in preventing the growth of colonies of some invasive species, do you believe in any other better solution? If so, please don't forget to share your comments and opinions down below. Plus, don't forget to share, like, and subscribe to support our channel with our upcoming videos. And lastly, Don't forget to share this video with all your friends so that they can watch it and enjoy it as well.